This video is brought to you by BetUS Sportsbook and Casino.
I'm KJ Wright from the Seattle Seahawks, and you're watching NorbCam.
This is Walter Jones, Pro Football Hall of Famer, top 100.
Tyler Lockett from the Seattle Seahawks.
DK Metcalf from
Nate Burleson, you're watching NorbCam.
NorbCam.
You're watching NorbCam.
What's up, everybody? This is NorbCam coming at you. Week 7 already in the season. And us Seahawks fans find ourselves in a strange situation, right? Start off the season red hot, 3-0, thinking, sky's the limit. And then suddenly we have a loss in Detroit on prime time, but it looks like it's a good loss. You know, we hung with them. We could have beaten them. We were just this close. And then we have a terrible game against the Giants at home. And then the 49ers bring us back to earth. And here we are at 500. Going on the road to face the Atlanta Falcons and wondering what kind of team do we really have and what kind of chance do we have to beat the 4-2 Falcons, who are kind of on a roll right now and tough as always to play at home. We're going to break this down and get into it with a guy I've known for quite a while. We've done many, many collaborations over the years. I can't believe how many years it's been, but we're going to get into it and break this game down and see what we both think and try to get to know our opponent a little bit better from a guy who knows him better than anybody else out there. Let's bring in my special guest right now. We're talking about David, Sports Live in the ATL. Well, you got different names now as you rebrand your channel, but hey, welcome to the show, man.
Yeah, thank you. How you guys doing over there? Happy 12s. What's up?
Yeah, man. You know, I was just looking back before we started this collaboration, and do you know how many years it's been since we started doing this?
I think it was 2016, maybe. I think
exactly.
that year that we beat y'all in the playoffs.
2016. It's been 8 years. I actually went back to see when was the first time I did a video talking about a collab, and I found the first time I was saying, "Hey, I found this guy in Atlanta. We're going to talk about the game." That was 8 years ago in 2016. Since then, we've had a lot of fun memories, multiple collabs about games, wagers created, some won, some lost.
Had a great time.
And then 2 years ago, you came up to Seattle, and I got to host you. We had a good time.
Got the W as well.
Yeah, that you shouldn't have got that W, by the way.
Whatever.
But that was a fun time, though. You got to see a Kent Ridge High School football game. We went to a Husky football game, and then, of course, we went to the Seahawks-Falcons game.
Falcons victory versus Seahawks.
How do you lose to
Marcus Mariota? How do you lose to Marcus Mariota? Unbelievable.
I don't know. We shot ourselves in the foot. But no, either way, this is what it is. That's the last time we played, right? Or no, have we played since then? I'm trying to remember.
I think we did. No, we haven't.
No. Is that it? 2 years ago, the last time we played?
Yeah.
Feels like it. Otherwise, I'm sure we would have done a collab since then if that was the case.
Yeah, because we didn't play last year. Or we probably would have won. So.
This guy.
With Desmond Ritter.
Anyway, all right. So before we get into the nitty gritty of this game, obviously we have a lot of history, but there's a lot of people who probably already know you on this channel, but there are going to be some people who are new to the channel who don't know who you are. So tell everybody a little bit about your channel. It's changed a little bit over the last few years, but tell everybody how you became a Falcons fan or an Atlanta fan, really, and what led to your channel being what it is today, man.
Well, as far as me being unfortunately suffering while being inducted to an Atlanta fan, I became a fan in 1980, and I was cursed from the very beginning because the Cowboys came back from a 24-10 deficit in a couple minutes left in the fourth quarter in the NFC Divisional, and we lost at home. So I was breaded into choking very early, and I should have known even at 10 years old that was a sign. But I've been a long-time Atlanta fan, Falcons, Hawks, Braves, every conceivable team in the city and state, Georgia. I bleed it. I suffer with it. As you can see behind me here, it's not easy being an Atlanta fan, but it makes the winning that much better. And we're just aching to get something going again here and everything. And I've had the honor of hanging out with NorbCam for so many years, meeting up with him, his family, the games, his friends, talking smack, riding the rail, everything. Just had a great time up there. And if you are ever in the area, you guys should meet up with NorbCam. As far as my channel goes, it's traditionally known as Sports Live in the ATL, but it's Sports Live in the ATL Fitness and Motivation because I do a lot of sports, but I'm also stacked in jack, as you can see. It takes a lot to do that. So I do fitness content and I motivate and everything. So, it's kind of a stretches of all three, but I'm looking forward to the game, Norb, and then I feel like it's a game that Atlanta can win. Got to keep the momentum rolling. But if we don't pass rush, I guess, Geno Smith, we're going to have a tough time like always because our pass rush is horrible.
I kind of want to get into I want to find out a little bit more about your season so far. I mean, you're 4-2, which is a good spot to be in. Yeah. I will say this much though: you guys really should be 3-3. You should have the same record as us, because if the Philadelphia Eagles had a nugget of common sense in their brain, they had no business losing to you guys on that. Was it primetime? Was it Monday night? It was a Sunday night. It was a Monday night game.
But if
the Eagles blew it,
if the referees were not being Chief-like, we could have beaten the Chiefs, and that could have maybe kind of even things out.
But you got to admit, though, the Eagles had you guys by the balls, and they let you off the hook, man. Saquon Barkley catches the ball.
You can't catch a pass.
Well, they could have had an easy field goal. But that's the whole thing now. Going for it seems to be the thing now, and it's you live by the sword, die by the sword.
It seems like you were really hoping Atlanta was going to lose to Philly. I sensed that, and that you're like, oh, you should have lost the game. Oh my God.
I'm not taking sides here, because both of y'all in the NFC, so both teams, are my enemy. I'm just saying that night, you guys, you're sitting here 4-2. You really should be 3-3. But tell me a little bit more about how your season's been. You kind of said your pass rushes. Give me kind of the overall breakdown for those of us who haven't been following closely. What's the psychological, physical profile on the Atlanta Falcons of 2024?
Well, from the psychological profile is fans here are thirsty for getting this team turned around like it was when Matt Ryan was here in his prime. We've suffered 6 straight losing seasons. We've gone through a couple of head coaches, a couple of defensive coordinators, just a bunch of terrible football, probably being the butt of most jokes. I mean, within the last couple of years between Dan Quinn and Arthur Smith, you couldn't have put up worse bulletin board material for jokes than the Falcons, with not falling on an onside kick that went 10 yards, and they didn't realize that they could touch it before it goes 10 yards, and they wound up losing that ball game and blowing big leads and not being able to sack quarterbacks, and Arthur Smith not knowing if he should have a mustache or a shaved face. Just a very up and down ride, because the Falcons have not made the playoffs in 6 years, but we realistically could have won the division a couple times in recent years and probably been to the playoffs about 4 times, but it's just been a abominable, and I'm trying to keep it rated G or PG for you guys, but it's just a crap show. It's just horrible. We're aching to win, and now with the turnaround and the expectations that we have when we signed Kirk Cousins, slow start, Achilles injury, and getting Judon and Justin Simmons and all this stuff, we expect more here. I know I do, and to be 4-2, I won't say it's what I expected, but I did expect, if we got through the first 3 games, at least 1-2 or 2-1, that it looked pretty good, moving forward. And, we're playing, our offense is probably one of the best in the league right now. London's finally getting utilized, and Kyle Pitts and Bijan Robinson. And my God, the pickups of free agency, Darnell Mooney, Ray McLeod from the Niners. You probably know him well. I'm sure he's reminded you about that. So, That's right, Costastamo. Yeah, so it's looking up here, but for me, it's always about winning championships and getting into the playoffs and just getting back that winning vibe, because it's been so frustrating. And the fact that, again, that we have 5 sacks in 6 games, which is less than maybe 0-point-something sack a game with the talent that we have, it's frustrating. So just take it week by week, man, and it's time to beat you guys down, man, in the Pacific Northwest.
So you didn't mention, I have to bring it up because it was one thing you didn't really say. You didn't say about the memes, but obviously the 28-3.
Oh my God!
I know it's an old. I'm not even gonna really go there because it's not like it's gonna be like a really old joke. I'm not. But I was gonna talk about it. We did a video. It was actually one of my more watched videos. We did a collab. I got David's very raw reaction after losing that, because we were talking even at halftime. I remember we called each other and talked about, hey, how you feeling, man? And I remember you were like slightly nervous but feeling pretty good, because it was I can't remember the score at the half. I think it was 28-3 in the third quarter. But I can't remember the half. It was 21-3. So you guys were sitting in pretty good position, but I remember you were still like, I don't know, it's still too early. But that video, though, is raw, but I think a lot of people appreciated hearing your raw emotions of talking about the frustration of losing a Super Bowl. Because we know what it feels like to choke in a Super Bowl. But for you guys, what I feel sorry for, because I was rooting hard for you guys, obviously, because Patriots had just done what they did to us 2 years earlier. But man, you guys took the sting of being the butt of all jokes from Super Bowl 49. You inherited that mantle from what happened on that game.
I'm honored. Thank you very much, sports gods.
No, I appreciate. I appreciate. I'm sending you my gratitude. But the fact that when Matt Ryan, Julio Jones, that whole team you guys had, it's really a shame because that's one of those teams that really you guys should have won. Yeah. You should have a Super Bowl to go with that number 2 jersey behind you, and it's just unfortunate it never worked out. But
we're going to talk about your Seahawks getting at the 1 yard line. I'm just kidding. I'm kidding. I'm joking.
Anyway, but so we've known each other through the good, the bad, and that was probably doesn't get any lower than that. So.
No, not at all.
I was talking a little bit about your offense. You said your defense hasn't had a lot of pressure on the quarterback, which is a little encouraging for me. But it looks like I know there was that night that Kirk Cousins went off for 500 plus yards in an overtime game. You guys in your last game did it on the ground. Seems like you got a kind of a dual-headed attack. You guys can throw it if you have to. You can run it if you have to.
Yeah.
What is the Seahawks defense, which is right now a little concerning given that we thought that this is one thing that had fixed. It's not really. We've got trouble still. What is it about the Falcons offense that makes you guys so good?
Aside of now finally figuring out to kind of mix in, the throwing the football and the running, but the team is a run first team right now. Well, at least they try to be, but they got so many offensive weapons during the offseason that the Falcons are throwing the ball all over the place. McLeod's, like I said earlier, Ray McLeod's getting involved. Darnell Mooney's getting involved. Drake London's getting involved. You can put Tyler Algiers out on a passing route or Bijan Robinson in a flat. We got a lot of weapons offensively, which we haven't had in years. We've had some of these guys, but we didn't have a quarterback to be able to get them the ball. But now we got a guy who's a proven winner with Minnesota, and I think Cousins has actually done some damage against you guys. I could be wrong, but the guy's a proven winner. If you look at his comparable stats, I noticed when I was watching that Monday night game, Tom Brady and Kirk Cousins are the only 2 quarterbacks to have 500 yards and 4 touchdowns in one game and a win or something like that. And that's good category, except Cousins has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 less rings. But
right.
But we expect them to do well, man. I mean, if we can get our pass rush going, we can compete with anybody. And I don't know your D-line issues. I do watch some of your games, but if you can't stop the run, you're in trouble. If you can't cover the middle, you're going to be in trouble. And if you can't, pass rush of the quarterback, Falcons could hang 40.
Ouch. I think you hit me in 3 vulnerable spots right there.
Ouch, ouch, and ouch.
Ow.
Yep.
You pretty much nailed our exact problem that we've had recently. I got to back up one more thing before we go into this game. So I was curious your reaction when Atlanta, early in the first round of the draft, picked up my boy from the Huskies, Michael Penix Jr. What was your reaction when that happened? You got to give me the raw scoop on that because I know you weren't like, oh, that's a good move. You must have been shocked. What was your reaction on that?
I hated it because that's not what we needed. We didn't need a quarterback. We had Taylor Heineke, who we could have kept as a backup, but we chose to get rid of him. I'm not saying Penix Jr., doesn't have any talent. I saw him with Washington, and I think he was at the game that you and I went to 2 years ago, I believe. When I was there Washington and Stanford. So I know what he's got, but it kind of, if you know anything about the Hot Atlanta, Norb, it's a hip hop area. It's what it is. They like flash and dash. So, Michael Vick and Michael Penix and, Deion Sanders, it's about flash, it's about focusing probably not the traditional quarterback. If you look at the history of the Falcons, the 2 quarterbacks that got us to the Super Bowl, passing pocket quarterbacks, Chris Chandler and Matt Ryan.
That's not why they got it.
So, I didn't like it. I felt we needed a pass rush, and obviously I thought we were going to do better with what we picked, but clearly that's not the case. And 5 sacks through 6 games tells me that, and I'm pretty sure y'all have more than 5.
I think we do. I don't really know the total.
What, 10, 11 maybe?
We had 0. I'll just tell you the most important stat. We had 0 against the 49ers. And I think maybe we had a couple against the Giants. We had 0.
We had none against the Panthers and Andy Dalton.
Yeah, but the Panthers are horrible.
But Andy Dalton, as old as he is, spun around a blitz and 3 guys and just pirouetted out of a sack. That's sad.
That's not why they got pinned.
Yeah. Who's the voice back there? I hear this other voice. Who's
That's
the
my
secret
brother.
silent voice?
That's my brother back there.
Yeah, let's see your brother. I don't think I met your brother. Who's your brother?
Right there.
How are you?
What's happening? What's your name, man?
Jonathan. So,
Jonathan, hi.
yes. Hey. So the reason they got Penix is as an insurance policy, because you got to remember, Cousins is not old, but he's not a spring chicken. So you can realistically expect him maybe 2 or 3 years, and then you're going to need a quarterback. But if you get another quarterback in the draft, that means you suck the next 3 years.
But you wanted to take him over a pass rush?
No. So you either get him now, and then you're not worry about it later, or if you wind up getting him later when Cousins is gone, if you're a good team, then you're not going to get a high level quarterback because you're not going to get a high draft pick. So I think it's to protect.
We needed a pass rush, though.
Well, yeah, we did.
Clearly, 5 sacks is not going to
Well,
cut
we had
it.
0 sacks in most games.
That is true.
So
Well, I mean, yeah, it was just mostly the fact that Kirk hadn't even played a down yet, and he paid him a 9-figure salary.
It was like
And-
68 or 80 million guaranteed or something.
well,
that
Cousins actually was a little unnerved by it. That's
Yeah.
true. He admitted that.
he didn't
But,
like it.
yeah, but obviously it hasn't been an issue. You guys haven't had a quarterback controversy, and Cousins has been playing
Well,
fine.
he's
And
gotten
10X
better
is just-
every single game. Cousins, even though we have lost 2 games, all 5 games that we played up until that the other day, we've moved the ball down the field in the last minute with no timeouts and put him in the chance to win. So whether we win or not is another issue, but Cousins has had no problems moving them down the field.
Yeah, well, that's what he does. He is a good quarterback that way.
Well, and they're starting to get Pitts involved. He's had 2 good games in a row. So no, how many? Yeah, no, I said 2. So the thing about Cousins is, the weird thing is, he got criticized before he came here about just being a stat guy and not really doing much. But a lot of guys who are stat guys haven't done much. There's only, as I told my brother many times, there's like 30-something teams in the league, and 30 of them lose.
He throws 4,500 yards average.
But there's only one team that wins every year, so 30 teams lose.
And sure as hell ain't us.
So, well, whatever.
Yeah, that's the only thing. Kirk Cousins has got to be the most highest paid quarterback who's never actually accomplished anything besides. I don't think he's ever got to a championship. Hasn't he just gone to the divisional
He's won
round?
1 playoff game.
Well, remember, he did have that one game in which they were down 33-0 to Indianapolis, I think, and they came back.
Oh, and who is the quarterback for the Colts? Matt Ryan.
Yeah, Matt Ryan.
Jesus.
Yeah. The thing is, what do you
Oh, my
keeps-
God.
Keeps taunting him.
This might be a little off topic. What do you think of them kneeling down at the end and not scoring a touchdown? I think that's
Yeah,
dumb.
on that pick 6.
I think that's dumb.
I actually didn't see that. So
Well,
what happened?
It was, we were up by like 35-20, and we
Oh,
intercepted.
is some of this last game against the Panthers?
Yeah,
we
it was
were
a
up
good game.
38-20, and Clark Phillips intercepted it like just short of midfield. Could have gone down the sideline, but he chose to fall down at the 3 to conserve the fact that he didn't want the defense to go back on the field. I don't think it was necessarily to not rub the score in, although it could have been that way. If it was your team, Seattle, and even though you're up by 18 points and you got a chance for a pick 6 or time run out, would you take it, or would you want your player to fall down?
If it was, ultimately the game's in hand, right? It's a 2-score game, so it's not like you had to worry about them getting the ball back and really coming back, right? They could have put the nail in the coffin in there. See, I don't do fantasy.
Yeah.
I don't bet. So the fact that I could take those 2 elements out, I don't get all stressed out about points and who's scoring what and defense getting points. So I can just think purely, what will it do for my team to win? If that will eat up the clock, and I don't care if they win by 18 or by 25 or by 6, as long as they win, I really don't care how they do it. So I'm okay with that. But I'm sure fantasy guys were pissed off. Fantasy guys are freaking out because they're like, oh my God, I could have had more points on my fantasy team. Or the guys who are betting going, oh man, I had him winning by 20, and now you sat on the only way by 18. I just lost $500 in this stupid game because of that guy. So then you get beyond the actual game, which is just to win the game.
That's why I don't bet. That's why I don't bet.
I don't know either. I get emotional enough as it is. If I actually put money on it, I might, jump off a building somewhere. So it's just not worth it.
Here's my
So
issue.
I'm okay with that. I'm okay with that because, and yes, you can look at it. That's a classy move, right? Instead of digging it in. The Panthers are a bad team, right? You really need to stomp,
Here's my issue
curb
with it,
stomp their head when it's that bad already.
Here's my issue with it, and they never talk about this. Even though it's never come into play, points scored and point differential is one of the playoff tiebreakers. It's like number 4. So
that's a good point.
So it rarely ever comes into play, and it probably won't. But with how close everything is, that could be the deciding factor to get in the playoffs. So that's why I don't believe in you don't want them to score. You score as many points as you can because you never know when that point might be the difference between you making the playoffs.
I mean, there's a lot of tiebreakers that come into play before point differential. I think.
Head to head, but
it would have to come down to like a massive tie between all these teams and go, well, these guys missed my touchdown. Guess they'll be on the road this time. I mean, that would be amazing if it came down to it. But yeah, it's not like college, right? Where it's like you want to bury the other team because the point differential is something that they judge a team by.
Because they would have rubbed it in college. He would have gone. I mean, you had a team this year almost score 70-something points in a game, right. Almost 100. So yeah. So I know college is different because it's not just the wins and losses; it's about the perception. You got to blow out these teams.
Style points in college.
Style points. Style points count in college, not in football. Anyway, all right, let's talk about this matchup specifically with the Seahawks. So we've talked a little bit lack of pass rush on your side, but you guys can run the football first. You can also throw it if you have to. I don't know how much you've watched of the Seahawks so far this year, but give me your take on what are the keys to the game for Atlanta to get the win.
Well, besides score more points in Seattle, we have to know. There you go. That's it. No, pass rush number 1. The Falcons have to set a precedence on pass rush because you can't keep having these close games because eventually you're going to lose. And so to me, set the tone early. Get the defense flowing. Get into the Seattle Seahawks backfield. Harass Geno Smith because I know he does get frustrated at times. Start with that number 1. Also, when we're on offense, we need to understand, the scenario that is going on. If you don't run when you should pass, if don't pass when you should run, take your chances when you have opportunities, capitalize with our running game. We have to continue to mix in Algier and Bijan Robinson, continue to utilize our receivers, got to protect Kirk Cousins because if you don't protect him, he's not going to get rid of the football. Just do what we do because the Falcons clearly showed in the last 2 games that we could score 509 yards and win, a shootout. And we also showed that we can blow out a team while running the football. So, when you run good, you're able to open up the pass more. So instead of being so one-dimensional, you sack the quarterback, put pressure on the quarterback, you're going to get the ball back more, and you're going to have more chances to increase the lead. And thank God it's not in Seattle. Not that it worries me because we've won there before. But I'm glad it's a home game. It's a game that Atlanta can win, but it's a game Atlanta can lose. I mean, I don't sell Seattle short. They always have competitive ball clubs, and they have the desire to win. And score more points than you guys. That's probably the top thing.
Really? Wow. Let me write that down as the key to the game. Score more points. Wow, I hadn't thought about that one. All right, so flip it around and don't just do the opposite of what you just told me. But if Atlanta were to lose this game, why would that be?
No pass rush, number 1. Careless with the football. Because if Seattle can play the way they did against the Falcons against Pittsburgh, if they're harassing Kirk Cousins, getting him off his game, off his marks, that's going to help you guys win. If we average 2-3 yards a run and we're constantly in 3rd and long, you guys are going to win. And if we can't do anything defensively, against you guys, and we can't get our offense going, I mean, like I said, getting our running game is key. I don't know really, Seattle's strengths. I know Geno Smith can run and pass. I know you still got Tyler Lockett, so he's obviously somebody we have to look for. I don't know about your defense. I don't know how good or bad they are, but I do know you're beatable, or else you wouldn't have had 3 losses. And, score more points.
We had 200 yards rushing.
There you go, Norb. Score more points. Again, got to score more points.
All right, I am going to get a score prediction from you in a moment, but I'll just share a few things of what you just talked about. So to inform you and any other Falcons fans who might be watching here. So the Seahawks, the issues the Seahawks have is injuries have definitely been a massive factor in the team. First of all, we're at our third string right tackle in Forsyth, and he's been terrible. He is like a revolving door. He's like a traffic cone, and pretty much anyone who lines up on him ends up in the backfield. Maybe not getting the sack, but he affects the pocket. Gino has to scramble or he can't throw a good pass, and usually that leads to an interception.
Or left guard?
Right tackle.
Right tackle.
So your left end or your left pass rusher. So whoever's coming off your left side of the defensive line is going to have a lot of opportunities to get to the quarterback. So not the blind side, but his right side.
If it's from that side, it could be Judon. Grady Jarrett plugs the middle usually. It could be Judon or even maybe Lorenzo Carter because he plays around that area, I think.
So that's our primary issue on offense. I shouldn't say that's the primary. Our offensive line in general is not very good. Our left tackle is probably our best player. Our center hasn't been great. Our guards haven't been great. That's why we haven't been able to protect, haven't been able to run the football as effectively. So that's been our issue on offense. We have weapons. We've got good play calling, but if the line doesn't hold up, none of that matters. Defense is another issue plagued by injuries. We've lost Uchenna Nwosu, arguably our best pass rusher. He's been out for most of the season. And Boye Mafe has been battling some injuries. Not sure if he'll be back in time. Hopefully he's back. Also, our stud middle defender, Byron Murphy, our top pick in the draft. Mm-hmm. We were undefeated when he was in. As soon as he's been out, we've lost every game since. So he's a beast in the middle. He eats up double teams and is just like a tough dude to move. So not that his name was being called a lot, but he might be back. We're hoping he might be back on Sunday. So that would be a huge factor. I got a question
for you. The three losses that y'all have had, what has it been the consistent theme on why y'all lost those three games? Like, if you're the Falcons, do you look at those three game tapes and mimic that? What in those three losses, caused y'all to lose? What's the importance?
Well, the Lions game, that's a tough one to watch because we went toe to toe with the Lions and we could have won that game. We were right up there with them at the end. Still gave up too many points, but we also on offense were putting up points and yards. So it was really a back and forth kind of game. But if you watch the Giants game, what was painful about that one is we gave up way too many yards rushing. I can't remember how many it was. I think it was over 200. It was a ton, and we couldn't get off the field. They had the ball for almost the entire first quarter, and luckily we took a fumble and made a touchdown out of it, but they were still on the ground the whole time, and we just could not get off the field. And we only ran the ball to Kenneth Walker Jr., our best running back, 5 times in that game. So we didn't give him the ball. And that's a recipe for disaster, which resulted in a lot of unfortunate plays. Again, we were into that game. We could have won that game in regulation, and then we had a potential overtime field goal blocked. Questionable about the legality, but it was blocked, and they took it for a touchdown. So we were, despite how badly we played.
I saw your live reaction.
I was so pissed. Could not believe that. So we were in both those games, but then the 49ers came to town, and once again, those guys put up 240-plus yards of rushing. Clearly, if we don't stop the run, we're in big trouble. And we turned the ball 3 times over, didn't get any turnovers,
You do know our running backs, Bijan and Algiers are beasts, and we had over 200 yards last week.
I know. Well,
so what's the recipe?
You had the big game in the air, and last week it was on the ground. So you guys can get it done both ways. Again, it was the Panthers, so I don't know how much stock I can put into that win.
Eagles,
but you did what you're supposed to do. You beat them by 2 scores.
Bucks.
Well, we didn't run against those teams. That was tough.
Have y'all played the Saints or Bucks or Panthers?
Nope.
Okay.
And I don't think we do. They're not on the schedule this year, so we're not going to play any of those guys this year.
Okay, so here's a question. If they're not on the schedule, I know NFC South, NFC West, why do we play a lot? Do we both happen to fall in?
I don't know. It was like that way with the Panthers for a while. We were playing the Panthers all the time. Now it's like Detroit. Now we play Detroit. It's like we played them 3 years in a row. And somehow the way the whole scheduling thing, there's always those teams that that aren't in that divisional. Every year you play a certain division. There's a certain way the records.
Well, we
and stuff
do
fall
play
in.
y'all a lot, and I think it's the reason because of the way the seeds that we are in the year.
Would you like me to throw my seeds?
I see the Seahawks.
Yeah, it's something to do with the seeds, right?
Year.
Would you like me to throw my
Yeah, for sure. Yeah, we have played each other a lot. Unlike teams like the Patriots, we only play them every 4 years. But you guys, it seems like we see each other at least every 2.
My brother said he would like to tort or
No, I didn't say tort.
What do you call that? Retort
Or throw my sense.
Throw his sense in. Can you do that?
Oh, yeah, sure. Yeah, your keys to the game. Sure, we'll get Jonathan's keys to the game. Why not?
Well, as far as
Big
this
brother.
goes,
What's up, Grandpa?
Hush. As far as this goes, I'm 5 minutes older than him. So it's based on a rotation in the previous year. Every team plays their own division twice. And by the way, our next game against Tampa Bay and Saints again. And then you take 3 other teams from the division and you play them. Then you play the opposite conference. Anyway, the keys to the game is no reason for Atlanta not to do what they did last week. If Seattle's weakness is the run, then they have to run the ball until Seattle proves they can't do it. They have a good enough pass. They can win the game one-dimensionally, but it gives them a better chance not to have a nail-biter game if they have offensive balance. So, and they need to rush a quarterback, but honestly, that's not the most important thing to me if they can outscore them.
What?
No, it's important. But it's only important if you're worried about the team being an offensive.
I'm worried every week. How is rushing the pass on the quarterback not important?
So we really haven't. So, it's true.
Hey, Norb, Gino's going to throw 400 yards because we can't rush the quarterback.
No, it's important. But what I'm saying is, unless the team is an offensive powerhouse, you scoring more points is more important than you stopping them. So if you're worried that Geno Smith was going to throw 400 yards, then that's important. Then that's number one priority. But if it's
can't sack a quarterback.
You just want to be okay.
Oh, yeah.
So Geno he can put up 400 yards. He actually put more yards up than Jared Goff in that game where he had a perfect game. He was 18 for 18, no incompletions, and even caught a touchdown pass. Geno Smith actually outperformed him yardage-wise.
Oh, my God. I know what's going to happen. We're going to rush for 250. Geno's going to pass for 400. It's going to be like 50 to 45. Like an arena football.
So I'm just saying the potential is there. But if you put pressure on Geno, yes, he's going to have trouble. So I agree. God. I think the pressure on the quarterback is very important. And that is one of the things we have been unable to stop. So unfortunately, that is a thing that is definitely one of our issues.
You have to tell me that he can throw the football? Jesus.
He's a great quarterback, man. He just has a crappy line that doesn't have enough time. And he's got great weapons. Great. I'm telling you, man, you'll see. It just has to have some time, a little bit more time, man.
Hey,
all right.
My brother asked Nord, did Geno Smith go to Miami, University of Miami? He did, didn't he? Or no? Come on,
I'm trying to remember. Virginia? I don't remember. I don't think it was Miami, though. I want to say Virginia or something, but I could be wrong.
Chrysosimo, did he go to Miami?
I don't know. What do I know about Geno Smith? I miss Jimmy Garoppolo. I had a poster on my ceiling. I told you about that, right? Anyway. Oh, look at that.
Chrysosimo, just for you, sir. You beat Seattle. Good job.
Hey, that's right. And we did it again. And we'll do it again. And we're going to keep doing it. Till the end of time.
Right, I got you. All right.
Or at least until they have to pay Brock Purdy, because that's going to really suck.
Or
they have to pay that dude who looks like he just got out of high school $55 million.
Or Chrysosimo, if you play the Falcons and Kirk Cousins, we're going to beat you. We're down. Niners will never win with Kyle Shanahan. Ever.
Whatever. Anyway, we'll have our time. You'll see. All right, let's talk. I want to get some score predictions. We'll put our money where our mouth is. I don't know. Maybe we'll do a little kind of friendly wager.
But and his?
I'm going to start. We'll get Jonathan's first. Actually, I'll go in order. I'll get your David's and then Jonathan's, and then I'll do mine. But first, I got to do a shout out to the sponsor over here, BetUS Sportsbook and Casino. Let's see what they have as the odds in this game right now, shall we? All right, so I'm here at my BetUS. We're gonna go check out Week 7. Let's see what they got. So if you go in here, and as you see at the top, if you join BetUS, sign up. If they have online gambling in your area, type in the code YouTube150. They'll give you 150% sign-up bonus, so you can play with some house money here. All right, so here we go. Let's go down. Let's go to our game here. Here we go. It's a early game, which is not a good thing for Seattle. Seahawks at the Falcons. It opened at -3 in favor of the Falcons. Still is -3. So it's a field goal. It's what's weird about this, strangely? That these guys have this. Given that they give the home team a 3-point advantage already, this is kind of an even game. They're basically saying it's a pick'em game, which is kind of shocking if you were to listen to these boys from Atlanta. But that's what it is. The odds right now, Falcons -3. So if you wanted to take your money on the odds here, you would just click here. If you think it's going to be the Falcons, you click here, put in your amount that you want to bet, say $50 or whatever, you'd win 47. All right, that's kind of how it works. So go to BetUS, sign up, and get that extra 150% bonus and then 125% on your next 2 deposits up to $2,000. All right, so there you go. 3-point favorites, at least early in the week on a Tuesday. We'll see if that line changes. All right, let's start with David. Let's get your score prediction on how this game is going to go on Sunday. Falcons hosting the Seahawks.
Well, for those who want to bet for the Falcons, we're going to win by at least 3 touchdowns. No, I've never been one to like score predictions because I believe it's a jinx and a curse. However, if I can look at the fact
do it.
Yeah,
come on.
Yeah, you just want to see me fall flat on my face.
That's right.
If I judge by the fact that the Seahawks have a pretty bad run defense and the Falcons have a good passing offense and it's a home game, we're riding high, and the fact that the Seahawks have lost a couple tough games in a row and they're flying because it's like a 10 a.m. game to them.
It is.
I know that's pretty bad when you got to fight. And usually in the first quarter, usually it's kind of slow. I kind of seen that from the team. But if I had to look at it right now, I would say the Falcons clearly can score 35, 40 points. I'm going to go out on a limb and say 40-20, 35-20, maybe 30-20, 34-20, something like that, because I think the Seahawks can score because we don't have any pass rush right now. If our pass rush happens, I think it can be a pretty comfortable game. But when you're an Atlanta fan, is really anything comfortable? 28-3. Come on, let's hear it. I say 40-20, 40-25 ATL, something like that.
40-25, something like that. Okay, I heard like 10 different numbers thrown out there. I couldn't even keep track of the whatever it was 2 scores or more is what I'm hearing from you.
Yeah.
Okay.
So what do I get if I'm right, if it's 40-25?
We'll talk about that in a second. Let's go to Jonathan and see what Big Bro has to say about this. Big Bro, do you have a different
He's only 5 minutes older. Good Lord.
Well, I wasn't expecting to give my 2 cents in this, but I will. But Atlanta will get an average number of touchdowns, and they get a lot of field goals. So based on that, I would say 34-25 or something.
34-25?
Yeah, in that area.
Okay. All right, another 2-score. Another 2. You should put those things head to head. Oh, I know we don't want to block your brother's face. All right.
Are you sure about that? There you go. Hold on.
Smaller. Yeah, Seahawks on top. There you go. Seahawks on top. Yes, Seahawks on top. That's what I'm talking about. Seahawks on top.
Oh, God.
Okay. All right. So I'm going to give you my prediction. So I have to slightly amend what I predicted because I had my sort of slate of what I thought was going to happen in this entire season. I'm still doing my music prediction video, but I'm doing it like at a game at a time for right now, and I'll do the rest of it during the bye week. So I had Seattle winning this game by a much larger margin back in late August, early September. Obviously, now that I've seen things play out, it's a little bit different than what I expected, although I did have the Seahawks exactly at this record at this point in time. I had Seattle at 3-3 coming off of a loss for the 49ers. So far, I've got it right. I just had the Giants and the Dolphins game switched around, but it's still, I had 3-3. I didn't have them victorious in this game. I had them by a much larger margin, but I don't think that's going to be the case because the Falcons are much better than I think I gave them credit for at the beginning of the year, and we're struggling a bit more than I thought we would. So this is my analysis of how this game needs to go. Basically, I know that Atlanta can put up points in the air and on the ground. And Seahawks can too, and the only way they're going to win is they got to do what we just talked about. They got to score more points. They're going to have to go toe-to-toe like they did against Detroit, but actually finish the deal and finish ahead. I believe this game is going to be, the over-under on this game is 51, and I think that's about right where I think it's going to be. But I think it's going to be over. And that's the only way Seattle's going to win is this has got to be over. I believe the Falcons are going to score high 20s, kind of like what you guys are, well, like your brother said. Right now he said 30-something. Well, I think it's the Seahawks have to keep them under 30. And the Seahawks have got to get into the 30s. So the only way we win is in a high-scoring game. I got Seattle edging them.
Oh my
by a last-second field goal. A last-second field goal by the score of 30-27.
You don't believe that, Norb. Stop.
And the Sports Live and the ATL brothers go home sad.
What?
And pissed off. And then Slitta does a rant video cursing up a storm about how his Falcons blew it again and what they had no business losing to a patchwork, banged-up Seattle Seahawks team led by Geno Smith because they couldn't get any pressure on the quarterback, despite the fact that we have a third-string right tackle and the fact that our offensive line plays like crap and that our defense is letting teams run all over them. But somehow they get it together a little bit better this year.
Do you really believe that? Do you really believe that?
And that has a lot.
Oh, my God.
What? It's possible.
Anything,
We're still thinking.
Yeah, and the Falcons could get that Super Bowl ring back. Oh, my God.
No, they can't get it back because they never had it in the first place.
Oh, my, that is true. Hey, John wants to ask you one. My brother wants to ask you one question.
So, and this is his point. First of all, my brother's, I feel kind of guilty, and I'm in a tough place because his rant videos are priceless, but they have to lose for that to happen.
Yeah.
But the thing is, when you're predicting a score of your own team, so unless you think Seattle's the best team, if you came in here the whole season and every single week you were asked to predict on the score, would you ever say Seattle's going to lose this game?
Good question.
Oh, are you asking me?
Yeah, you.
Oh, I do. I did. I have. I said we were going to lose the 49ers game, and I was right.
Yeah, because to me it's hard to speculate with your heart over practicality. So that's why I try.
Well, that's the thing. So when I do and David, you know this, when I do my season prediction videos, I don't go out and say we're going to be 17-0. And, in my heart, I want to be 17-0, but I know that's not reality. So you got to go through and go, okay, what's my team realistically? And so I break it down in a way that I think, what games can we win and what games can we lose? And so, I'm pretty real about it. And fans get on me because, they give me a hard time. Oh, what kind of fan are you, man? Predicted the Seahawks to lose. You're not a real fan. Well, yeah, I am. I'm just realistic about it, knowing that we're not going to be undefeated. Doesn't mean I want that, but that's how I approach it.
I have a bet for you, sir, for your viewers. Would you care to hear it?
No beautiful league if you lose.
I'm not going to say I'm going to take any bet you throw my way, but I figure we're going to do some wager because we always do every year.
Okay. Now,
or every time we play.
Now, this right here is going to be. It has to do with merch. It's not something that I traditionally do, but I think I might be able to find a space for it because when it comes to you and I, good friends, great times, great collabs, great meetups, we look forward to it. And so whenever you get the opportunity, I like to make the best of it. I got your headdress, your weave up there on the wall. I got your Seahawks mini. I got your towel. Pretty simple. The winner, Falcons beat the Seahawks. Full-size Seattle Seahawks mini helmet. It can be a replica. It doesn't have to be a real. And if the Seahawks win.
Wait, you said full-size mini.
I'm sorry. That didn't sound right. Stop the Bud Light, sir. Full-size helmet. So I can put right next to this one right here. It can be a replica. It doesn't have to be the regular one, like the real one. And if the Seahawks win, if you want, I will get you a Seahawks full-size helmet.
Bro, I'm not that confident.
or if you can think of something, but to me that's something that I really thought about, or something like it's up to you.
Okay, all right. I'll look into it. I don't know how much those helmets, those full size. I'm guessing they're pretty penny.
They're about.
And I've got to be like I got to be real here, right? I'm going for the 3, but I nervously a last minute field goal. Obviously, I'm clearly not giving it like we're going to dominate this game. But okay, I will take you up. That whatever it is, I will send you some kind of Seahawks merch that you can put on your trophy case. If my Seahawks do not get it done,
I see it right now. Can you pan around the back? If you don't do the helmet,
right
there.
This full screen.
The one that's on the wall right there, I think that's right there behind you, right there. That 12.
This one right here?
No, the blue one right there, the blue one. Keep going. No, the blue right there. The 12, the number 12 behind you. No, the number 12.
Oh, you mean my flag?
There. Yeah, right there.
Oh, my flag, dude.
And then sign
I've had this for years, bro.
Okay. How about one of those emblems on your wall? Right there, either the Seahawks.
Man, he's getting personal now. Because some of these are like really like I'd actually rather spend the money on a helmet than the ones that are here.
Okay, so you offer me something.
I will give you something.
And I will take-
I'll make
okay.
it. I'll make it worthwhile. It won't be like some $5 cheapie. It'll be something
Gotcha.
worthwhile. All right. Something that's got some meaning. But obviously, I'm not going to give away a personal, like prized thing. That's just asking a little too much. And like I said.
And if you win, I'll think of something. You know, you and I will talk behind the scenes, and I will get you something. You let me know something that you wanted, and if it's reasonable, then I'll do that for you. How about that?
Okay. Yeah, we'll make it worthwhile. Make it something cool. Here, I know. Here we go.
Oh boy.
I have an idea.
Here you go.
What is that?
My parents got it in Mexico. It's like Mexican, like the Day of the Dead that they do down there, but it's had a Seahawks style thing to it.
Is that something that you would want to get rid of?
I have an idea.
Well, this is definitely not as personally, like some of these things are autographed and stuff.
Okay, do me a favor. Okay,
But no, I'm kind of joking. I will definitely get you something that's got some value to it.
I have an idea for both.
We'll figure it out.
My brother has one of his famous ideas. What is it?
Uh-oh.
So if you don't get anything personal, and you don't have to be in the same city to do this, the winner buys the other a ticket to a future game.
Well, yes.
You mean a future game? A future game that we play each other in, or just a future
No,
game?
any game. It can be a future ticket, and it doesn't have to be expensive ticket. It can be one of the nosebleed tickets.
Yeah, but he has season tickets.
Oh, he does? Well, then forget that.
Or, and I don't really go to games.
I know, you don't usually go to the games. That's the problem.
That was a good idea. But look, we'll think of something.
We'll figure out. We'll figure it out. We'll figure out something.
It could be a basketball game. Well, Seattle don't have a basketball
We don't
team.
have a basketball team. Well, we have a women's basketball team, but we don't have a men's basketball team yet.
You got to crack. You got to crack in Seattle Kraken.
Sports, concert tickets. It doesn't have to be that. I mean,
interesting.
I'm trying to think out of the box.
Yeah, you're doing pretty good.
Let's figure it out. You and I can work out. We'll be in contact.
Yes.
But we'll make it worthwhile. We'll make it something equitable.
That was
equitable value enough to go like, doggone it, I can't believe I have to get this for this.
Buy him some beer, he'll be happy.
Beer.
That's an easy one. See, thing is, I don't even drink. Like, I wouldn't even put that up as something I want because it doesn't even like do me any good. I don't even drink any.
No, that's actually a good thing. I got you something. Do they have any beer there like this that has a Seattle logo on it?
I'm sure they do.
Yeah, well, how about that?
If
Atlanta wins, send me a 12-pack or a 6-pack of a beer that's got the Seattle Seahawks logo, and I'll keep you.
Oh, and then send that pack. Okay.
Yeah. And then if you win,
well,
then
that's easy enough.
Yeah, and then you let me know if Seattle wins. What do you want?
That.
So he can get this. What you want this right here for your you like trophies? You want some of these? What?
He's got like 50 of them in his recycling bin right now. Yeah, I'll give you 20, dude. Just tell me when to send it. No skin off my back. All right, we'll figure out. That's actually not a bad idea, though. All right, at least I know something that you value.
Yeah, or I could give you this, something the Seattle Mariners will never win. No, I'm just kidding.
I got no words. Hey, you're right, man. We're the worst franchise. We're the worst franchise in MLB history. This is our shot, man. It's so frustrating because we have one of the best pitching rotations, and they're sitting there just doing nothing during this.
Weren't y'all up like? Didn't you have a wild card lead of like 10 games?
We had a 10-game lead in the division back in late June. In fact, I went to one of the last games before that lead got squandered. And we were sitting pretty, and we had no offense. Have no offense.
Well, you have Cal Raleigh, whatever his name is, pretty good hitter.
Cal Raleigh's a good, he's one of the few guys that produce.
Well, if y'all don't want it, I'll take him over here. But like I said, the bet would be if Atlanta wins, you send me a 12-pack or 6-pack of your choice, whatever. As long as it's got the Seattle logo, and then you let me know in the DM or something when you think about it, and then I'll post it on my YouTube community page, something like that.
Okay. And then we have to do a follow. We need to do a follow-up bet to kind of like, what went wrong or what went right for the team that won.
And we're going to try to do a collab on Sunday, folks.
So the live stream too. So because he live streams his games and his reactions, I do the same. So then since I'll be in the studio, I can actually do all this, and I can bring David in so we can react in real time this game together.
Now since it will be real time. do I mean, I get caught up. I mean, do I got to have the mute button on?
I don't think you're going to be able to control yourself. So it's going to be, I'll have to probably put viewer discretion advised because David in Atlanta, Sports Live of the ATL and Fitness Channel is on my channel. And chances are you're going to hear some things you wouldn't normally hear on my channel. Beginnings with the words F, S, A, with usually three letters afterwards. Unless, of course, you're beating us like you predict, then I shouldn't hear any of that stuff come out of your mouth, right?
Well, I might hear it out of your mouth.
You might say,
you might hear it out of my mouth.
A or something.
All right.
All right. Well, that sounds like a plan, man. All right. So we'll see what happens on Sunday. We will collab on Sunday.
Yeah. And what I'm also going to send you, I'm going to send you a trophy. If Seattle does win, because I have a couple of these, I will sign this so you can have it for your trophy, and I'll sign it to you. So you can put it in your
could. What does it say? You could what? Win
You can box that off, but it's just like a thing that I got.
Oh, okay. I got you. Okay.
You know, but if you want, you can just have it like that, and I'll say congrats to score, and you can have it for your trophy, just like you do my black mini helmet. By the way, is it in a box, or do you actually have it displayed still?
It's displayed in my family room.
Okay.
It's in the other room, though.
So I'll send you that, too.
Okay. All right. Sounds good.
Right. Yes, sir.
All righty. Well, that is it, guys. So we will wrap this up. Thanks again, David, and your brother Jonathan, for jumping in unexpectedly. You should have him more often. He's pretty funny.
Some people say
you guys are a funny. You guys are a funny team. You guys make a funny team.
No, Norb, I kid you. Somebody say he looks like my father.
You are my baby brother. Even though our father's 102.
You are my father.
Right.
My father's 102 years old.
You want to say
you guys don't look anything alike, by the way. If you guys, if you didn't tell me so, I wouldn't think you guys are. I don't see the resemblance.
Well, it's not
if
his
you guys
fault.
are 5-minute twins. It sure doesn't show. But
all right, John, you care to say anything to my friend Norb?
Yeah, this is an unexpected treat. So you're funny too. I hope I can do this again sometime. I can't do it on Sunday because I'll be at work. But I look forward to some entertainment and some suffering on your part on Sunday.
Yeah. Well, someone's going to suffer. We'll see who it is. All right. Well, that's it, guys. We're signing off. Yes, David, Jonathan, see you next time. We'll see you on Sunday.
Always a pleasure.
And, let's go. Go Hawks, baby. Let's go.
On the A, baby.
You see how I